We found out we were pregnant February 9th. On my birthday, February 17th, my doctor called me and told me I had breast cancer. Through the whole process, my thought in my mind, I'm like, I gotta remain strong for this little girl. She's gonna be my prize. When I seen my OB, they was like, so we found a few things wrong with Ari's heart. And instantly I broke down crying. I'm a planner and I like to know how things are gonna turn out. That wasn't the case here. Our life since this little girl came has not been the same.
I was at 20 weeks and I went in for just a regular scheduled ultrasound. When we met with the obstetrician, she said that the left side of his heart was not developing properly. And that's when we found out that our baby was diagnosed with HLHS. I felt devastated. You never dream about taking on the responsibility of helping keep your child alive.
My pregnancy with Ollie was easy, smooth. When we found out he was a boy, we were ecstatic. We had 3 days of new baby bliss, and that all changed, though, pretty quickly. We were waiting to be discharged from the hospital. A cardiologist came in, and he told me that Ollie had a hole in his heart.
Ollie was diagnosed with what was thought to be a pretty simple fix, CHD. This is something that could not require surgery, could be a simple repair. Unfortunately, it did require surgery.
After Ollie's surgery, he was eating better and things were going well.
He was able to play, he was able to just do normal things. You're obviously a little bit more cautious, but for the most part, outside of some just like question marks and doctor visits and stuff like that, have a fairly normal life with Ollie.
We went in for his 6th-month post-op check, and that's when we found out that his heart rate was half of what it should be. He had his pacemaker implanted, and he was growing and doing well, and a couple days after that Christmas, he woke up from a nap and he was really sick. He went into cardiac arrest, and the doctors were able to stabilize him enough to put him on a life support machine called ECMO. A couple hours before he was scheduled to be taken off of ECMO, the critical care doctor told us that he had complete brain and brainstem damage. And that's where Ollie's story ended on this earth.
At the Fetal Heart Center, we're so focused on the medical side of things, we tend to forget how they're doing emotionally.
For the first couple weeks, which is very emotional for me, I broke down like every day.
It's very exhausting. I don't feel as though I'm ever rested or at ease.
You're kind of just trying to keep your head above water. Even when things are going well, there's always an underlying worry or concern that things are about to take a turn.
We will take care of their baby, but we also want to take care of the mother and father.
Surrounded by angels.
Each bead is a certain procedure or a certain stick, something that she has gone through since she's been here.
I sometimes look at it as like, oh no, look at all the things she's been through. But then I'm like, wow, look at all what she's been through and look at her now.
I felt very alone and I felt very guilty. I was seeing pictures on Facebook with other moms that were dealing with this, and they had beautiful pictures of their children, and I was forgetting to eat some days. Why couldn't I do this? Why was I unable to sit down and enjoy my child?
I didn't realize how much she was suffering at home, and I felt guilty that we didn't recognize that and that we didn't provide any support for her.
We're there to normalize their feelings and tell them it's okay that you're feeling like this, but that it's not your fault, and you do deserve time to focus on yourself. Your baby needs you to do that.
There are not a lot of practitioners who have experience with perinatal mental health disorders, and for those that do, because there's such a small number, often the time to get to see a provider can be very lengthy, and when we're talking about infants, we don't have a lot of time to waste.
Our Heart Center dedicated perinatal behavioral health specialists will be able to provide emotional support, coping skills for families who've been diagnosed with a congenital heart defect, whether that's prenatally or postnatally.
Making access to care as easy as possible, we think, is the way to increase likelihood that parents will actually get better.
In order for a mother to care for her child, she needs to be cared for too. And so I'm excited for other mothers to have the benefit of something that I didn't.
We know that the support and resources out there, that just makes it that much better for us to not give up hope.
Funding for this program is essential.
This year, we are dedicating our entire I Heart Food and Wine Fund a Need to the program that we're collaborating with St. Louis Children's Hospital on.
We don't have the resources to have someone dedicated to our heart families. Donating to this cause will really help to benefit not only the parents, but the child as well, and really the whole family.
We know there's a need, and we certainly have the desire to provide these services. We know how important they are, but we really need the funding in order to do it.
We have the power to make this world a better place, and you all in the audience have the power to make that happen, to provide this support to moms and dads and families who are struggling.
If you have a giving heart, chip in, because it's needed.